Alrighty then, what is up everybody with another edition of the Bert MMA live show, episode 6. Today, we got this on the schedule. We got UFC 278, full card prediction. Sorry about that. We had UFC 278, most confident picks, and we also got some MMA news and then an MMA Q&A as well. As usual, if you're watching the live stream, when, it's no longer a live stream, make sure to go down in the description below and check out the timestamps to see where I'm actually saying everything that I'm going to be saying. Also, if you want the bets that I'm going to be making for UFC 278, we have Contender Series as well. Forgot to write that one, but we're also doing Contender Series, full card prediction, and confident picks. But if you want the bets for both of those cards, check the top link in the description. But with all of that being said, let's just get into it. We've wasted too much time already trying to get into this. Let's get into it. We go on to the welterweight division. UFC 278, Usman versus Edwards 2 in the welterweight division. That is the main event. It's going to be a rematch. Usman kind of dominated with the wrestling in the first fight, but Edwards has shown good takedown defense with guys like Bilal Muhammad. Remember the name! But he showed bad striking defense, getting rocked by Nate Diaz. That's not a good look. We'll get into that in a bit. Paulo Costa versus the best chin in UFC history, Luke Rockhold. Murad Dvalishvili also with an amazing chin, taking on Jose Aldo. Tybura Ramanov, Hunsucker. Why is he on the main card versus Tyson Pedro? Santos Gordon, Pudilova Wu. Why is that a fight? Saldana, Woodson, Young, Maverick, Fletcher, Lusa, Figueredo, Albazi, Perrin, Arichi Lang, and Da Silva, and Altamirano. The betting odds have the favorites as Victor Altamirano, Arichi Lang, Amir Albazi, AJ Fletcher, Miranda Maverick, Sean Woodson, Lucy Pudilova, Jared Gordon, Tyson Pedro, Alexander Romanov, Merab Dvalishvili, and Paulo Costa, as well as Kamaru Usman. We have two underdogs on this card. One of them is going to be a woman. One of them is going to be a man. If you want the bets for all this entire card, make sure to go down in the description. Top link for all of the bets. With all that being said, let's get into it. First fight in the UFC's flyweight division. Victor Altamirano versus Daniel Da Silva in the flyweight division. Like I've said plenty of times, why is this a fight that is 2-1 for Altamirano? Why is this the odds for Altamirano minus 220? I'm going to be dead serious. Should be a pick'em. This should really be a pick'em. Victor Altamirano is not really good anywhere. He's average pretty much everywhere you look at it. Striking, he's got some good volume, decent power, just nothing that really pops off the chart. Like, oh my gosh, Altamirano is really good here. He's not good at anything. He's average at pretty much everything. And going against a guy like Daniel Da Silva, who has advantages over Victor Altamirano, like he has the finishing ability advantage in round number 1, round number 2. He's got the power advantage. He has the jiu-jitsu advantage, I would say, as well, as he was actually able to get the back of Jeff Molina in round number 1 of their fight. He did go on to lose. He did get submitted by Francisco Figueredo, but the man's submission ability is very underrated. He's very solid on the ground, has good submission skills and ground and pounds. I think there's a good shot Daniel Da Silva wins. I think this is a pick'em. I think if Altamirano goes out there and survives the early onslaught of Daniel Da Silva, he's going to win. He'll win. After that early onslaught from Daniel Da Silva, he'll start pouring on the volume, just landing much more shots, staying away from the big shots of Da Silva. Da Silva's going to be a little bit tired, and Altamirano is going to win the decision. I can totally see that happening. Definitely. But I'm going to be bold. I'm going to be courageous with the pick here. The easy pick is to go out there and say Victor Altamirano by decision. Again, I can totally see that happening. Definitely. He could go out there, out volume, and win a decision. But because of how close of a fight is, and I think it's a and because I think it's a pick'em, I'm going to go Daniel Da Silva. I think he goes out there, pours on the pressure round number 1, lands some pretty big shots. on Victor Altamirano that'll get him a little bit focused on the strikes of Daniel Da Silva for Daniel to eventually close that distance, land the takedown, get a little bit of ground and pound, and get the back of Victor Altamirano. I think this is going to be a good fight for as long as it is. Gonna go the underdog, Daniel Da Silva, by submission in round number 1 as my first underdog of the night. Bert, I'm not going to be able to watch it live. Unfortunately, when are the Contender Series predictions going to be posted? It's going to be a little bit later on today. So I'm going to do this stream till about 1 o'clock, 1:30, somewhere around that range. So in about, I would say about 2 hours, the Dana White's Contender Series predictions will be posted. Bert MMA, the new weird feelings you have towards girls is normal. You're growing up. What are you talking about, Secret Operative? Agree the odds breakdown for this. Dom's nose is just as broken as my life. Oof. Nice cut, bro. Why, thank you very much. Bert misses Sam Alvey. Of course I do. He's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. Next fight in the bantamweight division, Arichi Lang and Jay Perrin. In the bantamweight division, just like the first fight, Daniel Da Silva versus none other than Victor Altamirano. I think this fight with Jay Perrin and Arichi Lang is a pick'em. I think this one could literally go either way. On one hand, you got Arichi Lang. Arichi Lang, very good striker, puts on amazing pressure, can just eat shots, get knocked down, come right back up, and just keep on pouring the pressure like he did in the fight of the night against Jeff Molina. This dude is a dog. He comes forward, pours on the pressure, and lands with volume, lands with power, and he hurts his opponents like he did with Cameron Elsay, and like he did plenty of times on the regional scene with a lot of knockouts. I don't think he's going to get the knockout here against Jay Perrin. Jay is the type of guy that, he's a tough mother, and he does go out there and he survives the onslaught of strikes. I mean, he didn't get knocked out by Mario Batista, didn't get finished by Dwight Joseph. I mean, he's been submitted one time way back in 2017 against Reginaldo Carvalho. Arichi Lang is not getting a damn guillotine in this fight. So I do expect this fight to go all the way. I don't think Jay Perrin is that bad to get finished in the fight, and I don't think Arichi Lang is going to get finished at all, because he didn't get finished against Jeff Molina, top 15 flyweight, or Cody Durden, good wrestler with some good ground and pound and things like that. Jay Perrin is not getting a finish here. He got one rear naked against Josh Smith. This fight is going all the way, and it really comes down to, can Jay Perrin use that size to get the fight to the clinch and mix in those takedowns? Can he do it? Can he not? I don't think so. I think Arichi Lang will be able to either stuff the takedowns and or just not even get in the clinch where Jay Perrin has the advantage in the first place. I think this one is going to be Arichi Lang coming forward on Jay Perrin, putting on the volume, putting on those big, powerful shots, and every now and then when Jay Perrin goes in for a takedown, he's just going to back up to the center of the cage to defend that takedown, and then boom, eventually start pressuring in the back of the cage again, and so on and so forth. This is just going to be Jay just looking to counter with the takedown over and over and over again, and Arichi Lang putting on the pressure and landing good shots. I got the favorite, Arichi Lang, to get his second straight win in the UFC, getting Jay Perrin his second straight loss in the UFC off to CES, Cage Warriors, whatever the case may be. He's not UFC caliber, in my opinion. Arichi Lang by a decision. Bert, are you excited for my YouTube? Of course. I'm talking about how are you becoming attracted to the opposite gender, or are you gay? I'm not gay, alright? Because I watch MMA and because I watch dudes on dudes just fisting, I'm not gonna keep going. No! No, I'm not. Smash like? Yes, please. Alright, next one in the flyweight division, Amir Albazi and Francisco Figueiredo. However you want to say it. I mean, their whole family is a bunch of weirdos, because they have just weird, their trash talk is horrible. Davis and Figueiredo goes out there with the stupidest trash talk I've ever seen. It kind of probably got I'm sick. I'm sick of his trash talk. I'm coughing because of how bad Francisco Figueiredo's brother's trash talk is. But that's a totally different subject than this fight right here. Francisco is a good kickboxer, good at range with the kicks, the body kicks, the leg kicks. good counterpuncher, I guess you can say, but not really any power that I would say he can go out there and just knock out Amir Abazi round number one. He doesn't have that threatening power to where Amir Abazi is going to be worried that he might walk into something going in for a takedown. It's just not the case. Francisco does have some decent submission ability. Got one win over Daniel da Silva in his last fight. I think if they do the rematch, it'll probably go a different way. It was kind of one of those positional things where Francisco's like, oh shit, there's a knee bar. Boom! And if there's a rematch, he's not going to get that knee bar. But this fight right here is a different one. Amir Abazi, 3-0 in his last three with one loss against Jose Torres. But after that, key lock submission win, triangle against Malcolm Gordon, and then a unanimous decision on Zhalgas Zhumagulov. In this fight here with Figueiredo, the Make-A-Wish Foundation version of Davis and Figueiredo, I think he's going to go out there and he's going to get taken down easily throughout this fight. Malcolm Gordon was able to land some takedowns, and Figueiredo's gas tank really isn't that good either. I think Amir is going to strike with him for a little bit, just test how good his kickboxing and striking is. He's going to get sick of it. He's going to be like, all right, I just got jabbed in the face. My nose is hurting a little bit. Go for a takedown and just grind on Francisco. Davison is not going to let his brother get finished in there. It's just going to be Francisco getting ground and pounded, elbowed, and Amir is going to go for some submission attempts, but he's not going to get any finish. Amir Albazi, 3-0, out wrestling, out grappling on top against the bad cardio Francisco Figueiredo and just the Make-A-Wish Foundation Figueiredo. I don't think he has anything for Amir. He's not going to submit Amir. He doesn't have the power to knock out Amir, so Amir's just going to come forward, put on that pressure, take him down, and beat him on the ground. Amir Albazi by unanimous decision. Bert watched Jordan Levitt's grappling matches. He sneaks in. No, I do not. Sumo Derji versus Bert MMA in UFC 280. I would love to step in on short notice. Brenda Moreno, crybaby. I don't know how to do the accent, but yes, the trash talk is garbage. All right, after that, when we go on to the welterweight division, AJ Fletcher and Ange Loosa in the welterweight division. Ange Loosa. Let's talk about him for a second. This dude's legit. This dude is very, very solid. But besides the fact that, you know, he's 2-3 in his last 5 fights, been against some decent fighters. One of them was a split decision that could have gone his way, depending on how you specifically judge that fight. The second one was against a rising prospect, future top 15 welterweight Jack Della Maddalena, and he was able to survive that onslaught. And then the last one was Munir Lazez on short notice. Nothing bad about the losses here. Nothing bad about the wins either. Undefeated decision win and then a UFC veteran decision win. So he is a pretty good striker, I would say that. Same height right here, and is going to have a crazy 7-inch reach advantage. But so did Matt Semmelsberger. I'm going to be honest with you. Matt Semmelsberger is pretty much Ange Loosa, however you say it, in terms of that reach. Had a 75-inch reach, which is actually longer. But AJ Fletcher was still able to land some good shots on the feet and mix in the takedown and close that distance, which is exactly what he's going to do in this fight right here. Ange Loosa it does not strike me as a guy that's going to go out there, defend every single takedown of AJ Fletcher. And he doesn't have that power to really worry AJ Fletcher. Matt Semmelsberger has some good power to be able to go out there and possibly knock out AJ Fletcher, so it made AJ a little bit more tentative to go in there for the takedowns, to go in there and lay in his own combinations. In this fight with Ange Loosa, Ange is not that guy. He's not that guy, pal. I mean, he's not that guy to go out there and threaten to knock out AJ Fletcher. AJ's going to be like, all right, you just hit me with a jab. I didn't really feel anything, so I'm going to keep on pouring the pressure. I'm going to throw that left hook. I'm going to throw some flying knees, some right hooks, some big overhand rights. Look to land some really big shots in the feet. And as he's worrying about getting clipped in the head with the left hooks, the right hooks, the uppercuts, the overhands, boom, double leg takedown, slam. Get into the half guard position, ground and pound, ground and pound, ground and pound. Don't think he gets the finish. Loosa's very good at surviving a lot of his fights. I think AJ Fletcher pours on the pressure against the powerless Ange Loosa. I'm going to look like such an idiot if Ange Loosa goes out there and knocks out AJ Fletcher, but I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. AJ Fletcher by a unanimous decision. After that one, we go on to the flyweight division. Miranda Maverick and Shayna Young in my flyweight division. I don't know why I said my flyweight division, but this should be very self-explanatory. Shayna Young got one win over Gina Mazzani, a girl with literally the worst cardio in this whole entire division. Before that, she lost to Stephanie Egger, got taken down, and ground and pounded it and got the TKO loss in 2 minutes, 22 seconds. Up round number 2, a lot of 2s there. But if you look a little bit before that, yeah, right here, Miranda Maverick took her down in the Invicta FC Phoenix Series 2 in literally a half of a round. Got her back, rear nakeded her. Sarah Alpar, one of the worst UFC fighters ever, was able to win against Shayna Young. She literally got a win over Shayna Young right there, a split decision on Jocelyn Edwards, then got knocked out by Jessica Rose Clark and dominated by Erin Blanchfield. She got knocked out by Jessica Rose Clark. That's sad. Jessica's takedown defense is garbage, and she wasn't able to take her down. And she got knocked out because of it. But she was able to take down Shayna Young. If Jessica Rose Clark is defending takedowns against Sarah Alpar, and Shayna Young is not, and she's fighting Miranda Maverick, who is so far superior in terms of wrestling and grappling, she's gonna do exactly what she did last fight. Exactly what she did last fight. Anyone remember? Anyone remember the Sabina Mazo fight? I mean, that's exactly what's gonna happen here. She got a win over Macy Barber. That was a good win. I don't know why it's like that. I think Miranda can outstrike her as well. Shayna Young's not that good of a striker. I feel Miranda can just land the harder shots on the feet and win a decision that way. But she has that path to victory in her back pocket if she wants it. To take Shayna Young down, ground and pound her. Shayna's going to give her back like she always does, or get ground and pounded. She's going to get rear naked or going to get ground and pounded and TKO'd in round number 1, round number 2. It's going to be just like the first fight. Miranda Maverick by... let's go TKO. I feel like she wants a good TKO win here. Last fight, she got a submission on Sabina Mazo. I think she's going to be looking to have that submission set up and just freaking side of the head, and get that TKO win. Miranda Maverick, second round TKO. After that one, we go on to the UFC's featherweight division. Sean Woodson and Luis Saldana in the featherweight division. I'm going to be honest with you. It's a perfect fight for Sean Woodson. Now, is there that possibility that Luis Saldana can pull out something crazy like that front kick that he got on Vince Murdoch? Yeah, it's possible. Could he maybe get the back of Sean Woodson and get a submission? It's possible, I guess. But the most likely scenario here for a guy in Luis Saldana that barely outstruck Jordan Griffin, barely outstruck Bruno Silva, and then lost to Austin Lingo right there. Sean Woodson's a better striker than all of them. Souza, Austin Lingo, Jordan Griffin, Vince Murdoch, everyone. Sean Woodson is way better than all of those opponents on the feet. Not to mention, the man is 3 inches taller and is going to have a half-foot reach advantage. Luis Saldana is a pressure fighter. He likes to come forward, put in that left hook, right hook, front kicks, body kicks, just keep on coming forward, look to land some good volume, and just pressure you throughout the fight. How's that going to go when you're pressuring a guy with this much of a height and reach advantage, with similar power to yours, with similar volume to yours? He's going to land more volume because you're going to walk right into jabs, right into 1-2s, right into leg kicks and body kicks, and you're going to lose the decision. I don't think you're going to get knocked out. I think you're probably going to lose another decision. You're going to be 2-2 inside the UFC. 2 decision wins, 2 decision losses. Sean hasn't been really getting too many finishes against high-level guys recently. Decision over Kyle Bochniak, decision win over Youssef Zalal, and then a knockout on Colin England. Not the best guy right there. He did knock out Terrence McKinney, which I do like, but again, they rematched. McKinney's going to destroy him. But you guys know what it's going to be. Sean Woodson's going to stay at range, keep on moving, use his very unique style to stay at range of Luis. Luis going to walk into a lot of punches throughout this 3 rounds. Woodson by unanimous decision. After that one, I don't want to do it. Please, don't make me do this, man. Please, don't make me do it. This is garbage. All right, whatever. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do this prediction. I expect every one of you watching this live stream to just immediately leave the live stream for how god awful these two fighters are. But it's a full card prediction. We got to do the full card. All right, we go on to the bantamweight division. Lucy Pudilova and Yanan Wu in the women's bantamweight division. The two girls, I think, are at the bottom and the biggest low-level MMA fighters in the women's bantamweight division. Lucy Pudilova, who lost to Talita Bernardo on the regional scene by unanimous decision. Are you kidding me? Yanan Wu, who lost to Mizuki Inu by decision, lost to Gina Mazzani by decision right there. Only win in the UFC in her last 5 fights is Lauren Mueller, and her only win in the UFC total. What did you, like, what? I got a cough right now. Well, what is this? I have to do the prediction, but they're both so bad. I mean, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. This isn't a ruin my prediction record. I'm gonna look like a complete genius after this prediction, or I'm gonna look exactly stupid, or it's gonna be a split decision women's MMA fight that goes either way. Oh, I hate it. I hate it so bad. Lucy Pudilova, I think she's the better striker. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's women's MMA. They're so low level, but I still think Lucy is gonna have more volume here. Power wise, neither girl has power. I'm gonna say that right now. Wrestling, grappling, not going to the ground. It's gonna be a striking fight. But for the one factor that Lucy Pudilova throws a little bit more volume, that's it. That's it. This is not a super technical breakdown for you guys. Yanan Wu doesn't throw as much volume as Lucy Pudilova. Lucy throws a little bit more volume than Yanan Wu. I'm going to go Yanan Wu by decision. Do not bet on this fight. Do not parlay either girl. Do not prop this fight. Just take it out of your minds and sit it on the sidelines. Don't even watch this fight. Go watch Bellator. Go watch PFL. No. I don't even want to do this prediction because I don't want it to count to my record. But I'm going to go Lucy Pudilova. UFC brought her into the UFC for a second time for a reason. I'm assuming they want her to get a win. So I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But I'm going to go Lucy Pudilova by a 29-28 majority decision. 29-28, 29-28, 28-28. 10-8 round from, I don't know. It's going to be a stupid fight. I'm going to go Lucy Pudilova by majority or split decision. It's one of those fights. I don't like it. After that one, we go on to the UFC's lightweight division. Jared Gordon and Leonardo Santos in the lightweight division. First thing is first, for all of you bettors out there, the heck is this? Minus 330? Huh? Plus 260 for Leonardo Santos? Yes. He did lose to Clay Guida. He got submitted in like round number 2, round number 3. But the man, I think he rocked Clay Guida in that fight. He hurt Clay Guida bad in that fight. Almost got a knockout in that fight. Clay survived. But that shows Santos still has power in the lightweight division, even at 42 and a half years old. Grant Dawson, it was a very, very close fight. Let's go Grant Dawson, Leonardo Santos scorecards. Let's just check it out for a second here, all right? The scorecards for this fight. Grant Dawson, one of the up-and-coming prospects of the UFC lightweight division, versus Leonardo Santos. One of these rounds right here, I know 2 of them had Grant Dawson winning round 1 and round 2, but one judge gave Leonardo Santos round number 1, which I find to be very, very interesting. Grant Dawson just absolutely freaking destroyed Jared Gordon. Took him down and dominated him. Wasn't necessarily the case with the Leonardo Santos Grant Dawson fight. Yes, he still got TKO'd in the final round, but round number 1, if we look at it, round number 1 right here, Leonardo Santos lands a takedown right there, defends the takedowns of Grant Dawson in round number 1 and in round number 2. Then he gets taken down in round number 3. So his takedown defense is decent. I mean, he's defending takedowns on Grant Dawson, and Grant Dawson was able to take down Jared Gordon, the guy he's fighting, very, very easily when they fought in their fight. But right here, Leonardo Santos in the clinch was doing very, very solid, landing 28 strikes over 14 strikes right there, mainly in that sort of clinch situation. And he was able to land a good amount of strikes right there. Did very, very solid. But Leonardo Santos is not going to win this fight on the feet. I mean, I'm showing you all of this stuff right there, that he's landing more strikes than Grant Dawson in round number 1. He's defending the takedowns. He's landing a takedown on Grant Dawson even. He's keeping it really even with Grant Dawson, not getting dominated on the ground. I mean, that makes it a whole lot more interesting for me, is that Leonardo Santos was having a pretty good fight against Grant Dawson. Defending the takedowns for the most part until round number 3. Was landing takedowns on Grant Dawson. Couldn't really keep him there, but he was landing them. And if Grant Dawson's able to land takedowns on Jared Gordon and get a submission, what do you think Leonardo Santos could be able to do in this fight? The dude's got good jiu-jitsu. He's got a possibility of doing the Aljamain Sterling, get in the back and looking for that rear naked choke submission like he got on Anthony Rocco Martin. Now, that is not going to be my pick. I'm gonna say it right now. Leonardo Santos is not going to be my pick. I'm just pointing out the betting odds are a little bit horrendous right there. Because Leonardo is pretty good in the clinch. He's okay in the clinch. He's got good volume on the feet. He was able to keep it very even with Grant Dawson in their fight in round number 1. He's got good takedown defense and pretty good takedown offense as well. I think he's got a very legit chance of winning this fight. Jared Gordon's got a good, solid takedown defense, but 54% does not seem like it's the best takedown defense. The reason why I'm going to say that's a pretty decent takedown defense is because the guys he's getting taken down by are guys like Joe Solecki, who was able to go out there. Yes, he was able to take him down and dominate round 1 a little bit there. But after round 1, he's good. He defends the takedowns, round 2 and round 3. So I think this one's going to be kind of like the Joe Solecki one, where Leonardo Santos is going to do exactly what he did against Grant Dawson, where he actually landed a takedown on Grant Dawson in round number 1. Didn't really control it too much there, but I think he lands a takedown on Jared Gordon in round number 1. Everyone that parlayed Jared Gordon is going to get a little bit scared at that point, because they're like, oh my god, Leonardo Santos just took him down. Jared Gordon's coming off a submission loss in his last fight. What if Leonardo Santos gets the submission? But to survive, round number 1 will be Leonardo Santos. And then Leonardo's going to get a little sweaty. His gas tank's going to go out a little bit like he did against Clay Guida. And Jared is just going to out-volume. He's going to outpoint him on the feet. Not going to knock him out. He's just going to pressure forward on Leonardo Santos, land some good leg kicks, some body kicks, move his head a little bit side to side, and just land more volume on Leonardo Santos. This is not a confident pick, not one I'm out here like, oh my god, Jared is totally going to win the fight. Like I said, this should be a lot closer than 3-1. For the reasons that I've stated. Leonardo has good takedown offense, took down Grant Dawson, who dominated Jared Gordon on the ground. I know MMA math doesn't always work like that, but that is very, very interesting to look at. So round number 1, I think he does what he did with Grant and gets that takedown, gets a little bit of control time, and gets a little bit of ground and pound, lands a few more shots on the ground and in the clinch. All right, good round from Santos. But round 2, round 3, no more clinching, no more takedowns, no more wrestling, no more grappling. 2 more rounds of striking where Jared Gordon will have the advantage in terms of the volume. You look right here, lands double the amount of strikes per minute. His accuracy is better. Defense is pretty similar, but Jared Gordon throws a lot of volume. So I'm going to go Jared Gordon to win this fight by a unanimous decision. Now on to the main card. What? I'm not trying to do Tybura Ramanov just here. Why is this on the main card? That's my only question. Why is Tyson Pedro, Harry Hunsucker on the main card over Jared Gordon, Leonardo Santos, over Miranda Maverick, Shayna Young, over Amir Albazi? A lot of these fighters are ranked opponents. Amir Albazi is ranked. Miranda Maverick, I believe she is ranked. Jared Gordon, Leonardo Santos. These guys are very legit for this UFC's lightweight division. He's right outside the top 15. Santos, right outside the top 15. We got so many better fights to start that main card. But you're like, yeah, Tyson Pedro, Harry Hunsucker. I don't know what's up with that, but we'll predict it. We go on to the light heavyweight division. Tyson Pedro and Harry Hunsucker. In the light heavyweight division, Harry Hunsucker, the GOAT, got TKO'd against Jared Vanderaa, the other greatest of all time heavyweight. got destroyed by Taito Iwasa. I don't know how he got a fight with Taito Iwasa, but it was on short notice. And then he got head kicked by Justin Tafa. He got one win over Corey Moon with a knockout win. Solid. Okay. All right. Nice. 45-second win right there. Got a Kimura over a 9-15 opponent. Got an Americana on a 15-18 opponent. Rear naked on a 2-6 opponent. Knockout on a 50-50 fighter, 1-1, Billy Swanson. Knocked out a 0-1 guy, and then he submitted a 1-10 guy. Got knocked out by Dontel Mays and knocked out by William Vincent right there. I mean, what do you want me to say? Harry Huntsucker is not that... I mean, sorry. He's the GOAT! Harry Huntsucker is one of the greatest of all time. No, come on, guys. Come on, guys. Huntsucker, dude. Every guy he's winning has a... I'm not even lying. Every guy he's beaten has a 50-50 record or less. They either have one of the worst records I've ever seen or like 1-1, 4-4, whatever the case may be. Now, Tyson Pedro's isn't that much better as of recent, beating an 18-14 Ike Villanueva, but he's still Kimura Saperdveg Safarov right there. That was a very, very solid win. Good rushing, good wrestling, good grappling. I mean, he elbow knocked out Paul Craig to give him his first loss. He submitted Khalil Roundtree. He submitted Stephen Warby right there, 8-1 guy on the Australian scene. Very solid opponent over there. And then, yeah, he did lose to Alir Latifi, but he lost by decision. And that was a former top 15. Ovi St. Preux got an arm lock. Former title challenger and a former champion, Mauricio Shogun Hua. Now, these are all much better opponents than Harry Huntsucker. The only way Harry wins this fight is if somehow he lands a takedown. That's it. Somehow he goes out there, lands a takedown, gets on top of Tyson Pedro, and is able to get some sort of ground and pound going, get a submission. But we all know Pedro's submission defense is pretty decent. His submission offense is definitely pretty decent. Submitting Khalil Roundtree, submitting Saperdveg Safarov, and things like that. But on the feet is where he's really going to shine. I don't even think Tyson needs to worry about wrestling and grappling. He can go back to that if he's losing the fight on the feet somehow. But on the feet, the man's leg kicks are devastating, as we saw in the last fight with Ike Villanueva. He's got good power. He's got good movement. Very tall, very lengthy. 1 inch taller, and he's going to have a 4-inch reach advantage. Yeah, he's going to destroy him on the feet. He can destroy him on the ground. He can really beat him anywhere he wants. Not to mention, Harry is going to be doing one of the biggest weight cuts of his entire career, going from 289 pounds all the way to 205 pounds. That's a 34-pound cut. For a fatty, so it's a little bit easier. You just got to reduce caloric intake to get down a little bit. But that is one other factor you got to consider. So I think the chin is going to be a little bit worse for Harry. He's not going to be as big. His neck's not going to be as big to hold the power of Tyson Pedro. Not to mention he's been knocked out in like every single loss. So I think Tyson Pedro, he's going to knock him out pretty good here. He's going to get his back to the cage. Jab, jab, jab. 1-2, 1-2. And then boom. Right hook right down the middle, right on the chin, boom, cracks. A little bit of ground and pound. That's all she wrote. Tyson Pedro, round 1. TKO in the light heavyweight division. After that one, what other fight we got? Oh, yeah, Romanov fight. We got the Romanov fight. All right. We go on to the heavyweight division. Marcin Tybura and Alexander Romanov. In the heavyweight division, I'm going to be dead honest with you. Should be a lot closer. Betting odds should be a lot closer. Number 1, Marcin Tybura is about 10, 12, 13, 14 pounds heavier than Alexander Romanov. That's my guess. On fight night, he's going to be a lot heavier than Alexander Romanov. Does that help him? Maybe. Maybe a lot of it's fat, sure. But he is going to be taller. He is going to be lengthier. And I would actually say Marcin Tybura could have the striking advantage here. Not by much. I mean, neither guy is really a prolific striker in the heavyweight division, but there is that chance Tybura could go out there and just box with Alexander Romanov, get out of the clinch situations, not even stay there, and just strike with Romanov for 3 rounds and get a very close 29-28 decision. Possible. That's why I think the odds should be a little bit closer. But there is that other path to victory for Alexander Romanov and just kind of throwing some big shots in the feet. Boom. Using that head movement to get inside on Marcin Tybura. Boom. Underhooks. Boom. Double leg. Drop him down. Get on top. Get that half guard, ground and pound, ground and pound, ground and pound. Look for an arm triangle choke submission. Look for an Americana like you got Jay Sherman in. Or look for another forearm choke like you got on Marcos Rogerio de Lima. But my pick here for Marcin Tybura and Alexander Romanov is not going to be either of those. The only way Tybura has been losing fights has been Augusto Sakai by knockout, Shamil by knockout, Derek Lewis. Oh, Jesus. Derek Lewis by knockout, and then Stefan Puetz by knockout right there. The man has never been submitted in his UFC career, so if Romanov's going to win, it's going to be a TKO win with a lot of ground and pound, just completely compounding in round number 2 and round number 3, or it's going to be a decision. And I'm going to actually go decision right here. A lot of people going Romanov TKO, a lot of people going submission, more people actually picking submission, but I think KO is a little bit more likely than the submission, but I'm going to go the least likely on these Tapology predictions right here in the decision. I think Romanov is going to win 2 rounds to 1 for Marcin Tybura. I think round 1, Marcin Tybura will be able to, round 3, Round 3, Marcin Tybura will be able to defend the takedowns against a little bit of a tired Alexander Romanov and just outstrike him in that round number 3. But round number 1, round number 2, jeez. Romanov will be able to close that distance, get those underhooks, get the trip takedown, maybe the underhooks, and then look for a double leg takedown, whatever the case may be, in round number 1 and round number 2. Ground and pound a little and win those 2 rounds. Tybura is going to make a little comeback, and he's going to pour on the pressure to look and land some volume and hopefully get a knockout and get a good comeback victory. But round number 1, round number 2, Romanov, round number 3, to Marcin Tybura. That's why it's a close fight, is really, will Romanov be able to land the takedowns in round 2, in round 3? Because we know his cardio is a little bit iffy, you know what I'm saying? So odds should be a lot closer, but I'm still going to go Alexander Romanov to win this fight by a 29-28 decision. I need a cough drop. You're definitely right. Lee Solo. Totally. That is definitely what I need right now. But I've been coughing all day. Like, I'm not even sick right now. I keep on coughing. Every, I don't know, 40 seconds or so, I'll just cough. One sec. Alrighty then, I am back. George Floyd is in the chat now that I'm back. Alright, sorry about that. Had to clear my throat. Hopefully that'll help never mind, it's starting to come back. Hopefully that'll help the coughing, but I doubt it. Alright. What was the next fight? We're on Jose Aldo. Madame de Wallace Willie. 31 years old and almost 36 years old. Let's get into it in the UFC's bantamweight division. Jose Aldo and Merab Dvalishvili in the bantamweight division. I'm going to say it right now. Merab Dvalishvili is the best wrestler in the UFC's bantamweight division. Jose Aldo is one of the best strikers in this division as well. Was able to go out there, outstrike Marlon Moraes. He did. He won that fight. Outstrike Marlon Chito Vera, who is a very, very legit guy right there in the UFC's bantamweight division. Just knocked out Dominic Cruz. He was able to outstrike Pedro Munoz easily in that fight, and easily outstrike and even out-wrestle Rob Font in their fight as well. So this fight with Merab Dvalishvili, I feel, is going to be very, very interesting because on one hand, you got Merab Dvalishvili, a guy with really, really good wrestling, very good takedowns, is going to be a lot smaller than a lot of his opponents, is going to not have as much of a reach as a lot of his opponents, but is always able to close that distance, clinch up, and just look to wear on your opponent and take them down. Now, I'm gonna say it right now. If this was 5 rounds, I'm all on Merab. I'm all on Merab. Merab's probably gonna win round 3, round 4, round 5, and win a decision or TKO Jose Aldo in the fight. 5 rounds. I'm on the Merab Dvalishvili train all day. But this is 3 rounds, and Jose Aldo's takedown defense in 3 round fights has been pretty solid in my opinion. And I do think round number 1, round number 2, he will be able to defend the takedowns of Merab Dvalishvili, and it's going to look sort of like the Marlon Moraes fight. If Merab is getting rocked that badly by Marlon Moraes, imagine what Jose Aldo is going to be able to do in this fight, rocking Merab Dvalishvili on the feet. So even if Merab is able to land these takedowns in the fight, is he going to be able to do enough damage in terms of ground and pound and elbows and punches on the ground to really make up for the big shots that Jose Aldo is going to be landing on the feet? Round 3, yes, I will say round 3 Merab will be able to do so, but in round number 1, round number 2, I think the power and the volume and the bigger shots that Jose Aldo is going to be landing in round number 1 and round number 2 is going to sway the judges to give him the fight, because even if Merab lands a takedown in the last 2 minutes of every single round here, the judges are not focused on your takedowns. They're not focused on your control time or anything like that. They're focused on what you can do with that takedown in terms of ground and pound. And is that ground and pound more damaging than Jose Aldo's strikes on the feet that are going to be rocking Merab Dvalishvili, in my opinion? I think Merab is not going to be landing the harder shots. I don't think he's going to land as much shots on the feet at all. Jose is going to destroy him on the feet, and every time Merab gets hurt, he's going to clinch and look for the takedown. And when he does get hurt, hurting someone on the feet, in my opinion, is going to be worth more than Merab getting a takedown, landing little tap-tap shots on the feet for a minute and a half. So I am going to go Jose Aldo to win round 1 and to win round 2. But to win round 3 will be Merab Dvalishvili, because at that point, Merab's cardio is just going to go crazy at that point. And Jose's power isn't, I mean, his power is still good later on as the fight goes, but Merab will be able to will be able to close that distance a lot easier, find that range to close the distance and land the takedown. And I think round number 3 is going to get close to a finish. And just ground and pound, ground and pound, ground and pound, kind of like Petr Yan did in their fight right there, where Petr was actually able to TKO Jose Aldo. But I don't see that happening here. Merab is going to win. The cough's back. Merab Dvalishvili is going to win round 3 in my opinion, but round number 1, round number 2, due to the significant strikes on the feet, the more effective and significant strikes on the feet for Jose Aldo, I think that will give him the rounds in round 1 and in round 2. But again, you know, I'm not going to be surprised if Merab goes out there and just dumps Jose Aldo with the double leg and just stays on top. Control time, control time, control time, ground and pound for 3 straight rounds and wins the decision. I will not be surprised in the slightest, but the I definitely have something. But the pick is going to be the underdog, Jose Aldo, to win this fight by a 29-28, very close, unanimous decision. Damn, I do not want to keep coughing during this video. It's been like this all day. All right. Great value for Aldo at plus 100. I would agree. All right, next one in the UFC's middleweight division, Paulo Costa and Luke Rockhold in the middleweight division. Another fight. I'm gonna have to say, guys, should be a lot closer on the betting odds. I'm gonna go Paulo Costa. I think this is a pretty easy pick to make in terms of the chin of Luke Rockhold, the power of Paulo Costa. But there is that side of me. There is that voice in my head saying, Bert, Luke Rockhold has really good body kicks, has good leg kicks, good high kicks and things like that, and he's going to have the wrestling and grappling advantage over Paulo Costa. The voice in my head is saying, what did Paulo Costa do in their 5-round main event? Or sorry, what did Marvin Vettori do against Paulo Costa in their 5-round main event? Was able to keep range, land 1-2s at range on Paulo Costa, and hit him with a devastating amount of body shots, which were the most effective strikes, in my opinion, for Marvin Vettori. So Luke, in my opinion, is going to look good. He's going to look good, very, very good early on in the fight. Like, Luke is going to go out there, land some good kicks, some good body shots, go in and out very, very well. It's going to kind of look like Dominic Cruz against Marlon Chito Vera, going in and out very, very, very well. It's going to be looking, oh my God, really fast, really good movement. He's landing way more volume than Paulo Costa. All right, we're going to get the new and improved Luke Rockhold. He's about to win a good decision on Paulo Costa, but just like the Dominic Cruz fight with Marlon Chito Vera, it's going to come to an end. The veteran, the older fighter versus the newer fighters, literally Dominic Cruz, Luke Rockhold, and then Paulo Costa as Marlon Chito Vera. Luke's going to look very good early on. For the first 2 minutes, 3 minutes, wow, the odds are gonna go very, very close. Paulo's going to be like a minus 130 favorite or something like that, and then boom. Paulo Costa is going to close that distance, land a jab, get Luke Rockhold back to the cage. He's going to be having his hands down, looking to kind of use his head movement, and Paulo's going to throw a good right hook right to that chinny chin of Luke Rockhold and knock him out in round number 1. Again, Luke's going to look good for as long as it lasts. He's going to look very, very good, but like Marlon Chito Vera, one shot changes the whole fight, and Paulo will land that one shot. I got Paulo Costa by TKO in round number 1. After that one, we go on to the welterweight division. Kamaru Usman and Leon Edwards in the UFC's welterweight division. Leon, good kickboxer in the prime of his MMA career at 31 years old in about 2 days. So this is his birthday week. Can he win and beat the best pound for pound fighter inside of the UFC on the birthday week? Maybe, maybe not. He is taller, but he does not have that reach. The Kamaru Usman reach is absolutely insane because he's 6 foot tall with one of the longest reaches in the welterweight division, but he is coming off some good wins. He beat Colby about 8 months ago by unanimous decision. Jorge with a knockout. Gilbert Burns with a knockout. Jorge Masvidal with the decision. And then Colby Covington with a knockout. So 3 out of his last 5 fights were KO TKO wins. One of them, Jorge Masvidal, he wasn't really going for the knockout in the fight. It was really just clinching and control time and wrestling and grappling. Colby Covington, Colby is a dog. He was able to survive and learn from learn from some of his mistakes from the first fight and was not able to get knocked out. But still, Usman was able to get 3 knockout wins. Jorge Masvidal, Gilbert Burns, and Colby Covington. I'm going to say it right now. All of those guys I just mentioned, I would say have better chins than Leon Edwards. Leon went out there and got rocked by Nate Diaz. I'm going to be deadly serious with you guys. Donald Cerrone, Gunnar Nelson, all of these guys right here weren't really able to land that powerful shot to really even have the chance to rock Leon Edwards. But the one good shot, right down the middle from Nate Diaz, was able to rock Leon Edwards in their fight. Now, I'm like many, was going to go just for the simple Kamaru Usman by unanimous decision prop. I was like, all right, I'm going to put $100 on that, $200 on that for sure. It's going to be a good bet. Leon Usman went to a decision the last time. Usman's coming off a decision win. Edwards is coming off a few decision wins. All right, this fight's going to go to a decision. But then I thought, Kamaru Usman has more power than Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz was able to rock him in round number 5. Usman rocked Gilbert Burns with a damn jab. Hamza Chimaev wasn't able to even rock Gilbert Burns. Usman knocked him out with a damn jab. Was able to land a big right on Jorge Masvidal. If he lands that on Leon Edwards, he's going to sleep. So originally I was like, my first original thought was Leon could go out there, defend the takedowns, and kickbox Usman for 5 rounds and win a decision. Very possible. My second thought was Kamaru Usman to go out there, just box with Leon Edwards, just not really throw too much power, so he doesn't really get counter with the kicks from Leon Edwards and things like that, and then maybe he mixes in the clinches, the foot stomps and things like that, and wins the decision. But my new thought is none of that. My new thought is Usman's going to go out there, come forward on Leon, go on the front foot. Leon's going to look to counter. He's going to do very well, land some good leg kicks, some good body kicks, some front kicks, some jabs, some 1-2s and things like that. Leon's going to land a little bit more volume in round number 1. But in round number 2, Usman is going to find that range. He's going to find the timing to where he can get in there with that jab, with that very, very powerful jab, and boom, right straight down the middle. It's going to rock Leon. Leon's going to get knocked down. Usman's going to get right on top of him. Boom, 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 ground and pound, ground and pound, ground and pound, and that's all she wrote. Kamaru Usman in round number 2 by TKO. That is my prediction. Those are the full card predictions for Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards, UFC 278. I got Usman by TKO round number 2. I got Paulo Costa TKO round number 1. Jose Aldo by decision as an underdog. Alexander Romanov by decision. Tyson Pedro by TKO. Jared Gordon by a decision. Lucy Pudilova by decision. Sean Woodson by a decision. Miranda Maverick by TKO. AJ Fletcher by decision. Amir Albazi by decision. Arichi Lang by decision. And Daniel Da Silva by a submission. I got Daniel Da Silva and where is he? Jose Aldo as my 2 underdogs of the card. The people I think have, how many finishes do I have? I have 1. I have 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think 5 out of 13 fights on this card will be finishes. But another one probably is going to be a finish. I can totally see one in the Sean Woodson-Luis Saldana fight. AJ Fletcher's got a very good shot of a finish. And Arichi Lang has that power that can definitely get a finish. Not to mention Romanov could definitely get a finish as well. So I can see some more finishes than just the one I mentioned. But those are the predictions. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video. Alright, now for the confident picks. UFC 278 Usman versus Edwards 2. Most confident picks. Now, number 1 most confident pick of the entire card was going to be Tyson Pedro. I'm like, dude, Henry Hunsucker's so bad. He's so bad. He's fought nobody. He's fought nobody on the regional scene. Every win is against a losing record fighter. Nah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. It's light heavyweight. Harry Hunsucker is one of those guys that's just gonna risk it all to go for the finish, get knocked out, or get the knockout. You never know. Maybe it clips Pedro, and he gets the knockout. So that's not gonna be my number 1. Number 1 on this entire card. I hate to do it. I really hate to do it. So I might have to change. I promised myself after last week that I would not have a women's MMA fight number 1. But I'm going to go Amir Albazi. I'm going to go Amir Albazi, number 1 most confident of the card. I think he takes down Francisco. He's got better wrestling. He's not going to submit Amir Albazi. Amir's got very good submission defense and good submission game of his own. And Figueiredo doesn't have enough power to finish Amir Albazi. He's going to out-wrestle him, out-grapple on the ground, and get the win. Number 2 is going to be Tyson Pedro to go out there and get the knockout. Those 2 are going to be my first 2 confident picks. And then my 3rd confident pick, Miranda Maverick. I think she's better on the feet. I think she's better on the ground. She's stronger, she got better wrestling, better striking, and she arguably went out there and beat Macy Barber, who is obviously a much better opponent than Shayna Young. So, sorry about that. Amir Albazi, Tyson Pedro, and Miranda Maverick, all 3 are going to be confident picks for this weekend's card. Other than that, that's about it for confident picks. Number 4. Most confident pick. Again, none of these guys that are left are going to be confident picks. It's just Tyson Pedro, Miranda Maverick, and Amir Albazi. Everyone else is going to be a slight lean. But my number 4 most confident pick of this entire card is going to be between Paulo Costa, Sean Woodson, and probably Kamaru Usman. Sean Woodson, Kamaru Usman, and Paulo Costa for my number 4 most confident pick of the card. I'm going to go Kamaru, the Nigerian Nightmare Usman. Number 4. Number 5 is going to be Paulo Costa. Number 6, Sean Woodson. Number 7, I don't want to put Romanov that high. Jared Gordon, Romanov. Number 7, AJ Fletcher maybe? Number 7, we're going to go number 7, AJ Fletcher. Number 8 is going to be Alexander Romanov. Number 9 is going to be Jared Gordon. Number 10, we are going to go with Arichi Lang. Number 11, we are going to go with number 11. Who we got at number 11? I don't know. Lucy Pudilova's left. Jose Aldo's left. And then Daniel Da Silva. Number 11, we're going to go Jose Aldo. Number 12, we're going to go Daniel Da Silva. And number 13, least confident pick of the card, We'll switch them. Number 13 is going to be Dana da Silva. Number 12 is going to be Lucy Pudilova. So, if you don't remember what I just said, we're going to put it into a Google document like we usually do. We're not going to put, that's DraftKings, 1 second. We're going to go into Google Docs right now really quickly. Let's put it in. All right, so we're going to put them in order of number 1 most confident to number 13 least confident. Dana da Silva is obviously going to be my least confident pick of the card. We're going to move Lucy Pudilova down there as well at the number 12 spot for obvious reasons. Women's MMA, super duper low level. Number 1, like I said, is going to be Amir Albazi. So we'll put that one at the top at number 1. Number 2, like I said, is going to be Tyson Pedro, if we can find him. Tyson Pedro and Harry Hunsucker. I got Tyson Pedro as another confident pick. Tyson Pedro. Number 3 is going to be Miranda Maverick. I don't like putting women this high on my confident picks list. I don't like them even being confident picks, but, you know, she's better everywhere, so we kind of have to put her there. So Miranda Maverick at number 3, like I said. Number 4, I'm going to keep it there at Kamaru, the Nigerian Nightmare, Usman. Then we got Paulo Costa, just in the exact same order. Then Sean Woodson. Let's move that one up a little bit. Sean Woodson. Bada bing, bada boom. After Sean Woodson, it got a little bit interesting. It was between Jared Gordon, Marcin Tybura, Alexander Romanov. We'll put Alexander Romanov after that one. Bada bing, bada boom. Alexander Romanov. After Romanov, we're going to go Jared Gordon. I'm not the most confident on Jared Gordon, but, you know, actually not. I think AJ Fletcher is a little bit more confident, to be honest with you. So we'll put AJ Fletcher right after Alexander Romanov right there. Bada bing, bada boom. And then, yeah, Jared Gordon's going to be next. Whoops, we messed that one up a little bit. But yeah, Jared Gordon's going to be next. And then after Jared Gordon's where it gets really, really weird. Jared Gordon, and then we got Marab, Jose Aldo, Richie Lang. We'll put a Richie Lang a little bit more confident. A little bit more confident, but again, not the most confident. We'll put him right there. And yeah, that's going to be most confident to least confident for UFC 278. Jose Aldo is going to be my third to least confident right there. So, this is it. Amir Albazi, number 1 most confident. He is a confident pick. Tyson Pedro, number 2. He is a confident pick. Miranda Maverick, number 3. She is a confident pick. Kamaru Usman, almost a confident pick. But, you know, he's getting a little bit older, coming back from an injury. He's almost there, but he's not a confident pick. Our best slight lean of the card, just because, you know, he's coming off the injury, and it's been a while since he's fought, plus he's getting older. So we'll have him at number 4. Paulo Costa at number 5. Sean Woodson at number 6. Alexander Romanov, number 7. AJ Fletcher at number 8. Where is it? Jared Gordon, number 9. Richie Lang, number 10. Jose Aldo, number 11. And Lucy Pudilova, Dana da Silva, 12 and 13. Those are the confident picks. Most confident to least confident. Put your confident picks down below. Your predictions down below. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Alrighty then. Comments before I keep coughing. Sheesh. Jose Marab is now a pick'em, as it should be. The real lock is Bert losing via cough TKO. That is facts. Paulo, yes, finally I can put a KO on my recent record with this layup of a chin in Luke Rockhold. Paulo, a certified all-show muscles, no power. You can't even rock Luke, no chin Rockholds. Will Usman pull in Amanda Nunes? Possibly. Paulo is one of the only UFC fighters to get 4 finishes in his first 4 UFC fights. Hamza Chimaev was close. Shavkat, I believe, is almost there. Neil Magny, Carlson Harris, and then, was it Michel Prazeres or something was his debut? I think he got Alex Oliveira as well. Did he beat Alex Oliveira? I think Shavkat has 4 finishes as well. Yuri is next at 3. First 3 fights in a row are finishes. I don't think so. I think Shavkat also has Also, as for Guru, has Leon as underdog of the year. No, no. If Usman knees were the same, then it's more likely he would just wrestle Maul Leon the whole fight, but he'll stand in pain here. I agree. Usman may be one-handed. That's possible. That's why he's not a confident pick. If Leon does win, though, I just hope he starts to open up and show more personality with the belt, like Volk did when he won the belts. Bert sounds like me during lunchtime in high school. Breaking down the fights. Yes, indeed. Coughing. Just keep on coughing, man. After seeing Lupi lose to Angela Hill, I have a little confidence in betting women's MMA these days. As you should, good sir. Miranda Maverick seems like a lock in this fight, though. She already beat Shayna Young by submission and is just overall way better. I agree, but again, women's MMA. Angela Hill had hometown advantage. That is also true. But we go on to the Contender Series in the lightweight division. Dana White's Contender Series 2022 Week 4 predictions and confident picks. Confident picks will be at the end of the video, but we got Thomas Powell and Esteban Ribovics in the main event right there. Two guys with crazy power and finishing ability. Co-main events, sorta, I guess we can call it that. Ivan Valenzuela and Claudio Ribeiro. Two guys with good finishing ability. Again, I'm expecting a lot of finishes on this card. Jack Cartwright, Jose Johnson. Jose is a good striker. Cartwright is a good grappler. That should be a good one. Haley Cowan, Claudio Lights. Two girls with striking, not the best on the feet, but they both have some decent wrestling as well. Nazim Sadikov with some very good power in his hands, taking on Hasanzada with some good wrestling and grappling. But let's get into the first one here in the lightweight division. Nazim Sadikov and Ahmad Suhail Hasanzada in the lightweight division. Both 28 and 26 years old. Not sure the height or reach of Nazim Sadikov, but I assume it's around the same as his opponent Ahmad Suhail Hasanzada from Afghanistan, but he's got some power. I mean, 2 knockout wins in a row, not against the best competition, but I mean, neither guy's really going out there taking on legit guys, but his takedown defense has definitely improved in the past, and he is training with some good guys that have some good wrestling and grappling over there, with his coaches being Ray Longo and Pete Sell, some pretty solid wrestlers and grapplers. But this fight right here, I do think is going to be him going out there trying to defend the takedown, sprawl, and brawl. That's exactly what Nazim Sadikov is going to be doing here, is just a sprawl and brawl game plan against Ahmad Suhail Hasanzada. And Ahmed going out there, exactly what he's going to do is look for the takedown, look for the rear naked, look for the punches from mounts, and just look for the finish on the ground. That's the only way I can really see him winning this fight. But with Nazim training out of the Longo and Weidman MMA gym over there in New York, I do believe Nazim will be able to defend the takedowns here from Ahmad Suhail Hasanzada. Neither guys really face the best competition, but I think the winner here will get a contract in the UFC, because I think the winner will get a finish, and they'll get a short notice fight, and it'll be a banger of a short notice fight, because both guys here are very good finishers. If they put them a short notice, I mean, it's going to be a banger of a fight. But Ahmad only loss is by knockout. Nazim's only loss is by submission. So it really comes down to, can Ahmad get the takedown before he gets knocked out on the feet? I don't think so. I'm going to go Nazim Sadikov to get the KO TKO win in round number 1. He throws more volume. He throws more combinations. I think he's going to catch him coming in with a good right hook. KO TKO win for Nazim Sadikov in round number 1. After that one, women's MMA in the women's bantamweight division. Haley Cowan and Claudia Lates in the bantamweight division. Not a fight I want to predict. Not a fight at all that I want to predict. Haley Cowan and Claudia Lates, super duper low level. I mean, I think the winner of this fight does not deserve to be in the UFC. For one, Claudia Late has lost to girls that are not in the UFC. Those girls should be on the Contender Series instead of Claudia Late, and Haley Cowan just got guillotined by a losing record Kelly Clayton in round, I believe, round number 1 or in round number 2. That's not at all a good look. Neither girl's a good striker, but they both have some good wrestling and grappling. On the feet, going to be very even. The fight really comes down to who is going to land the takedowns here. And I think Claudia, sorry about that, is gonna be the bigger opponent in this fight against Haley Cowan. She's gonna be the stronger opponent, and she's just gonna go in there, look for the double leg, look for the clinch, and just muscle her way for a takedown, land a little bit of ground and pound, and that is what's gonna be the deciding factor to give Claudia Leight the win. I know Haley could land some takedowns of her own. Her takedowns is okay, I would say, but I worry. I worry for Kaylee Cowan right here. Haley Cowan right here. Because last time she went out there with a wrestling and grappling game plan, she got submitted. Claudia Leight has a good wrestling and grappling base. She's got good knees. So she has the clinch advantage. She has the wrestling advantage. She has the strength advantage. She's got the size advantage. Yeah, I don't know why she's the underdog. I think she should be the favorite. 25, almost 26 years old, taking on a 30-and-a-half-year-old Haley Cowan, who got submitted 2 fights ago. I don't think we see a finish here. I think it's very, very likely we do, with how Haley got submitted by a Kelly Clayton in their fight. But, you know, all of the finishes from Claudia are against pretty bad opponents. I mean, 4-5, 0-7, and then what was her most recent one? A 4-3 one right there. So I think this fight goes all the way. Claudia Leight by a unanimous decision as my first underdog of the card. Let's see, got a small parlay: Ribovics, Valenzuela, Cartwright, and Sadikov. Love watching. Keep doing your thing, man. Thank you, Travis Perez. After that one, we go on to the bantamweight division. Jack Cartwright and Jose Johnson in the bantamweight division. Pretty similar in age, but there is that height and reach advantage for Jose Johnson. This is an interesting one. I think this is probably the closest fight on the entire card. On one hand, you have Jose Johnson, a guy I think can easily go out there and knock out Jack Cartwright round number 1. Jack has been rocked plenty of times in his career over there in Cage Warriors. Jose Johnson has a heck of a lot of power. Going out there, getting a submission win on Mo Miller, which was really good, and then knocking out Delano Perry right there. The dude has power, got good jab, and a very, very powerful straight right and right hook on the feet. That's his only way of winning, in my opinion, because the way he's lost fights, he got knocked out by Mano Martinez, and then he got out wrestled for a very, very long time against Ronnie Lawrence. I think that's kind of what this is going to be. Kind of like how Ronnie Lawrence was able to go out there, eat a few shots in the feet, close the distance, get the takedown, and grind to a decision here. I think that's what's going to happen here. He's got a lot of submission wins and a lot of TKO wins on the ground as well, but I think this one goes all the way. Jose Johnson is not going to go out there and just get knocked out. Not going to go out there and just get submitted. I mean, the last time he got submitted, very, very long time ago with Casey Jones, Levi Moles, and then Michael McDonald. I'm talking like 4, 5, 6 years ago, the last time this man has been submitted. So I think the fight goes all the way, and I think the underdog, Jack Cartwright, will eat a few shots, lose round number 1. He'll find out a way to close that distance a little bit better in round number 2 and in round number 3, and win those rounds and win this fight by a 29-28 decision. After that one, we go on to the co-main event in the middleweight division. Claudio Ribeiro and Ivan Valenzuela in the middleweight division. Probably another 50-50 fight on the card, if I would say so myself. One side having Claudio at -120, one side having Ivan at -120. So you can obviously suggest this is pretty much a pick'em. It is a pick'em in my opinion as well. Ivan, 8 wins and 1 loss from Mexico City, with a lot of knockout wins, a lot of TKO wins, and a lot of submission wins, a lot of guillotines, and things like that. You know the game plan right here from Ivan Valenzuela is to close that distance, eat a few shots in the feet, and then land the takedown. Because that's exactly the weakness of Claudio Ribeiro, who did lose a decision to Kevin Felipe right there by split decision, and he got rear nakeded by Guilherme Miranda. He does not like when the fight hits the mat. He would like to kind of flow on the feet a little bit, go in and out, in and out, in and out, and look to land his powerful shots on the inside and knock out his opponent in round number 1 or round number 2. In this fight with Ivan Valenzuela and Claudio Ribeiro. Again, it is the Contender Series. If Ivan gets the fight down, I think he finishes. I think he gets the back, and he'll probably rear naked him, or he'll get the ground upon TKO. But if he's not able to get the takedown, which I don't think he will be, Claudio knows the takedown is coming. He knows that's what he's going to have to prepare for. I think he defends the takedowns, and the way he's going to win is going to be by knockout. It's the Contender Series. Dana's looking for the finish. Claudio is looking for the finish. Ivan is going to be looking for the finish. It's going to be a banger of a fight. I think Ivan will land some takedowns early on in the fight, but Claudio is going to get right back up on those takedowns, and he's going to pressure Ivan in round number 2. When they're a little bit sweaty, Ivan's no longer really able to get those takedowns as easy, and boom, Claudio Ribeiro by knockout, landing a big right hand at the end of the second round, knocking out Ivan Valenzuela and earning a contract with the UFC. Claudio Ribeiro by KO or TKO. Bert MMA, the future Brett Nakamoto, Minimoto. I like it. I like it. After that one, we go on to the lightweight division. Thomas Paul and Esteban Ribovics. In the lightweight division, two young guys at 26 and 27, almost 28 years old. I'm going to say it right now. War. That's it. War. That's all this is going to be. This is going to be a freaking war. The only times Thomas Paul has lost fights is when he gets finished. Got guillotined by Joe Cummings. Got submitted by Chris Astley right there. Then he got knocked out by Alan Chirilla right there. But every one of his wins, I'm talking not even a single win, is by decision. All 11 by KO or TKO. This is going to be a striking fight. Esteban does not want to go out there and impress Dana with a nice guillotine, a nice rear naked choke submission. No, he's going out there like he did his last 3 fights, and he's looking for a 27-second knockout, a 7-second knockout, a 22-second knockout, a minute 49-second knockout. He's looking to get this man's back to the cage and land those combinations. Esteban is more powerful than Thomas Paul. He throws more volume. He's faster than Thomas Paul. And I think Thomas Paul is going to make this a war. He will survive round 1. He will make it a war in round 2. But Esteban's going to counter him with a big right hand in the middle of round number 2. It's going to be a banger until that knockout does happen. Thomas is going to be throwing everything. Esteban's going to be throwing everything. But I think Esteban is just a more technical fighter. Has a little bit more power as well. A little bit more speed. And I think will be able to land on the chin of Thomas Paul near the end of round number 2. Esteban Ribovics by KO TKO in round number 2. Predictions: Esteban Ribovics by KO TKO, Claudio Ribeiro by KO TKO, Jack Cartwright to win the fight by decision, Claudia Lates to win it by decision, and Nazim Sadikov to get the knockout in round number 1. Now, confident picks. Number 1 most confident pick, you guys know it's going to be Esteban Ribovics. Obviously, is going to be the number 1 most confident pick. Number 2, definitely not going to be Claudio Ribeiro right there, but it's going to be Nazim Sadikov as my number 2 most confident pick. Number 3, this is where it starts to get a little bit interesting. Number 3, we're going to go Jack Cartwright as my number 3 most confident pick. Number 4, we're going to go Claudia Lates to win her fight right there. And then number 5 is going to be Claudio Ribeiro. I'm not confident on any one of these fights. Not even one. Esteban, not confident. Claudio, not confident. Jack, Claudia, Nazim, I'm not confident on a single fight right here. Because every one of their opponents could definitely go out there, get the finish, or win a close decision. I think this is going to be a lot of close fights, a lot of back and forths. Yeah, number 1, Esteban. Number 2, number 2, Nazim. Number 3, Jack. And then number 4, Claudia. With number 5 being Claudio Ribeiro. What do y'all think? Those are the predictions. Those are the confident picks as well. We got 2 underdogs, Claudio Late and Jack Cartwright. Put your prediction down below. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video. Alrighty then, my throat is getting crazy. What the heck just happened there? What just happened there? Alright, let's go to MMA news. We got anything? Do we have anything? Yeah, really not too much. Really not too much MMA news. Alright, no MMA news today. Any comments you guys have, any questions? We're gonna go on for about 5 more minutes, then I gotta end it because I gotta post these ones. I gotta post all the predictions I just made. So any questions before I end the live stream, put them in the comments section. Dun, 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 dun. Just started doing Contender Series research 10 minutes ago. Very nice. So is one of my other comments, not on the live chat. But again, any more comments, but I'm going to end the live stream very, very soon. Very, very soon. Alright, I don't see anything. Thank you guys for watching this live stream. Yeah, we're going to post the predictions, the full card predictions, the confident picks, all of that very, very soon. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you.